Hey everyone, been wanting to do this video, as you could kind of tell by the title. It's going to be somewhat of a series. Um, let's see here, last weekend, not this most recent weekend, but the weekend before, I went to the 2nd's sale that Spyderco does every year, and basically it was kind of a bad run for me. Turns out my tags had been expired. I went up the night before. I was thinking about camping out. Decided not to because when I got up there wasn't anybody up there. So I figured this year maybe nobody's going to be camping out. I had... this was basically my first experience going to one. I had thought about going on one. I think it was 2 years ago, and when I got there the line was so long that it just didn't seem worth it. Now this year, even though I got pulled over for expired tags, which was, you know, a total accident, I accidentally just completely spaced the fact that my tags had to be renewed, and also never actually saw the slip come in the mail. But minus that, I got to Spyderco at about 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. I figured 7 a.m. I'll get a decent spot in line, and you know, it stated that they were going to be opening the doors at 9 a.m., which in fact they opened the doors a lot earlier than that to allow the crowd to start lining up and everything. Or should I say, they opened the outer doors, should I say. They opened the outer doors so that some people could get in and get in line and warmed up and everything. So basically I was roughly, I would figure, anywhere in between 75th and 100th in line. Now, I like Spyderco. I really appreciate the product that they put out for the value, everything. But seeing the way that this went, it was a very big disappointment. And I'll go into that here in a minute. I did pick up several things, and I kind of did the exact same thing that a lot of other people did, but technically I went up there expecting that I'd be picking up like one or two things. I only took so much money with me, and really was only interested in, like, it was about 2 to 3 different items. So I got there, and as everybody's coming out, they've got bags full of items, and everybody's saying, oh, it's totally worth it once you get in there, so just keep waiting in line. So I continued to wait in line. I finally got my chance and go inside, and everything's gone. Literally everything. The only thing that was basically there was a few miscellaneous items, some stuff that nobody really wanted, and a bunch of bird knives. Now, if I remember correctly, the value on the bird knives wasn't excellent. It was basically, they had some Caracara, a couple other ones, the catbird, some other ones, and you know, just basically not excellent values. They did have a lot of sharpening stones there. They did have some good deals on some other items, such as let's see here, a few knives here and there that were actually pretty good values, but they weren't specifically what I was looking for. I was hoping to get, you know, a couple of multiple items, not really multiples, but, you know, a few items. Like I wanted to get a Mannix 2 full flat grind. I was hoping to find one of those. Probably a military or a paramilitary, and, you know, hopefully maybe some Delicas or some Enduras or something along those lines. So basically, once I got in line, or once I got to the point where you were able to go up and purchase something, the only thing that I saw that was available were these guys, were the Slippets, or the UKPKs. I'm not even sure if that's, this design is the UKPK. Saw a couple of those, and that was basically it. I saw a bin of broken used knives that I guess people returned back to Spyderco that were at like $5. I searched through all of them. Every single one of them had a tip broken off. In that bin, I also managed to find this one right here, which is the Copa. This is the 2nd. It's in fairly good condition. The scale on this side is excellent, but on this side it's a little bit overdrawn, as you guys can see. Not quite fit well perfectly, but otherwise the knife is in excellent shape and lined up very, very well. So I grabbed one of these. I accidentally, or actually, almost got tackled trying to grab this one. It is a rough little situation. You have people pushing and shoving. Nothing like I was really expecting. I thought it was kind of a mainstream line. You go through, you pick out stuff as you go. It turns out it's just, if you can shove your way into something quicker than somebody else, then that's the way that it goes. I kind of figured, since we just all waited in line, for these multiples of hours, that it was pretty much, you go through, you grab what you want, and then you check out. But it's however many people they can force into the place all at once. And if you get pushed out of the way, then you get pushed out of the way. So a little bit disappointing in that aspect. While I was waiting in line, I did happen to come across a couple others that kind of sparked my interest, but they're still fairly high in price. So I'll get onto those at a later time in this video series. I was happy that I found these. These guys went for $15, so wasn't too bad. I believe the only thing that's really wrong with these, because I didn't find anything really wrong with them except for the fact that the halfway stop is a little bit weak, as well as the back spring is a little bit weak. I mean, it's not super strong or anything, but it's suitable. So happy with one of these, because I had been wanting to try out one of these. They're very low cost. They're usually about 35, 40 bucks on eBay. So 15 bucks, nothing's really wrong with it. Just a little bit of a minor flaw to the half stop and whatnot, but otherwise it's a good knife, good value. I've EDC'd it for a couple of days. So far I'm satisfied with it. I haven't EDC'd this one, but I am happy with it. I've had a Copa before, and they're very, very nice little knives. They are a bit heavy. So carrying one around for an EDC is, it's going to be a heavier knife for such a little knife. Whereas these guys are very, very lightweight, very easy to EDC, and the wire clip that goes way down in the pocket is very nice as well. So tip up on this, both sides ambidextrous, whereas the Copa's only right-handed carry. So you guys can't switch pocket clip on those guys. Now, while I was waiting in line, I saw several people that they gave you these baskets. And these baskets, I guess you're able to fill up, to the brim if you want to, with whatever that you manage to get in line for. Turns out that they had, I believe I was told, a couple hundred of the Mannix 2s, and they had some militaries. They had a lot of other knives. They had, let's see here, what else? They had a pretty good variety, let's put it that way. I didn't really see a whole lot of items that were available. They had some fixed blade knives that were available, a lot of the salt knives, what is that steel again? I can't remember it. It's the H1 steel. They had a lot of those available, and so all in all, there was a lot of product for everyone that was in line there that day. Had Spyderco basically put a limit on people where they didn't. Now, I understand the whole idea behind, people are, go there, they camp out, and you know, they should be able to grab whatever it is that they want. Understandable. But at the same time, you should also put a limit on somebody that, you know, you've got, you know, roughly, I would say 200 to 300 people that are valued customers and have been, you know, customers of yours for several years, that are all standing in line for multiples of hours hoping to get a good product at a, you know, a reasonable discount. So that's one letdown. I mean, there was easily 200 people there that got in line, waited for several hours to show up, and find out that all that was available to them was sharpening stones and bird knives. You know, seconds on bird knives. So that's you know, I lucked out. I got in line. I got lucky because while I was waiting in line to go purchase my products, you know, some people were going back and putting stuff down. And then there were others. I had one generous person who was in front of me. He actually had like I think it was like 9 Mannix 2s. He had a couple of militaries. I believe he had a paramilitary and some other ones. I can't remember exactly what. He did grab up a few of these UKPKs and a few other knives. He had a pretty good basket. He was going through his list of what people wanted out of, I guess he was purchasing for a group of people, and he was overspending his limits as he was going through. So he was generous enough to give me a couple of his knives that he wasn't going to be able to afford. So I'll show you guys those in a little bit. So there was one generosity, you know, side to it. Along the lines, I did ask a person that I saw that had a huge basket of the Mannix 2s. I was like, dude, I just want one Mannix 2 for myself. And he said, well, I've already handed out enough of these, you know, blah, 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 and, you know, went on about his business. So that was rather disappointing. And he had a whole full basket full. He was obviously purchasing for himself and for resale. So that's just my side of it. I'll go ahead and go on with the series. So just a disappointment of a weekend for waiting for 5 hours and then standing in line for an additional 2 hours to get these items that you guys will see. So these are my 2 items that originally, when I was in line, were the only 2 things that I was able to purchase. So those were the only 2 things that were available to me originally when I first got in line. So this is technically 5 hours worth of waiting right here. So go ahead and go on to video 2 and or this series part 2, and I'll show you guys some more additions to what I got as I was waiting in line. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.